I realized a young man in white t-shirt and brown trousers was being accosted by about 5 of the men who were ahead of Double. All I remember seeing was that he was struck by, I can't remember whether it was a gun or a button, but I realized he was struck and he fell to the ground. These officers, 4 to 5 men, continuously kicked him in the head and in his body parts whilst he lay on the ground. I saw one of them pick a concrete block and attempt to smash it into the man. I kept screaming, "Double, stop your men. This is wrong." He told me to shut up, that it wasn't my business. And I said to him, "I'm a member of parliament. This is wrong." And he asked me if I knew what a stray bullet was. At that point in time, I shut up. I saw this individual in the white t-shirt and brown trousers lying motionless, bleeding from his mouth and his nose. As I made my way out, I saw the Deputy National Women Organizer running into the scene and crying, "Wome kuno, to wait, they've killed him, they've killed him." At the time I left with Double, the gentleman was motionless and bleeding from his mouth and his nose after I had seen him being kicked repeatedly on the floor. When we got to the vehicle, Double walked with me outside the premise of the building because his vehicle was outside the premise. I asked him for the key, and he said to me he had no key to give to me. He will find the key subsequently and I will get it. As we walked to his car, Mr. Roland Walker of Joy TV was attempting to grant me an interview. And I said to him to hold on. And he kept asking me what had gone on. I said, "Hold on. I need to sort this out and I'll be back to you." When I went and I was told that there was no key to give to me, this was now in the open glare. It was not in that confine of the small building. I then started repeating to the men, "This is so wrong. This is so wrong. You can't kill a man in his own house. This is so wrong. No matter how long it takes, justice will be served. This is so wrong." I was walking away, and I said that on the video you showed. As I walked away, my name was called twice by men in one of the vehicles. Sam George, you think you're so strong. You see what we'll do to you. At that point, I turned around and asked, "What will you do to me? Are you a security officer or a party agent?" My Lord, I will repeat again for emphasis the conversation or the dialogue, the entire dialogue between myself and the officers in the vehicle. My name was called out. Sam George, you think you are so strong. We would deal with you. At this point, I turned around and addressed the officer in the vehicle and asked him, "What will you do? Are you a police officer or a party officer?" These were my questions to them. I said nothing more than that. The last thing I remember being said to me from the officer in the vehicle was, "This is the beginning of 2020. Wallahi." Then I noticed a gentleman standing to my left was hit by one of the security operatives standing there. I was trying to understand what was going on when another officer dressed in black, who I have gone ahead to identify as Mohammed Sule, the son of the late Nantonna, and an operative of the national security apparatus who was on operation that day, assaulted me. He hit me the first time And I approached him back and asked him, why are you hitting me? What is my offense? And he hit me a second time. There were uniformed police officers on the scene. Their only intervention was to pick up a mobile phone of the national security operative that had fallen down.